Welcome to our Cantraption. So here's what's going on. So basically we're gonna have my brother light a torch right here in order to melt the string, which will fall down there. We actually have a wedge that's gonna flip that switch. We have a clamp on the switch so it could easily be flipped. It'll flip on that switch, which will activate the sander, which is gonna shove this board so it hits the hammer. And then it'll hit that. But then it's also gonna have an auto off, which isn't part of the actual contraption itself. Cantraption. Yeah, it'll pull this so that it'll deactivate in time. This will hit, and there's a little gap in here which will shove air. We cut a little hole in the cap, and then it'll knock over these dominoes until it gets to this one right here, which will hit that part, which goes across. And as soon as it gets here, it'll activate our little relay that's right there and turning on this machine, which will pull up a board that we got wrapped up here. There's a screw down there, and then the skateboard will eventually roll down and it'll hit that thing, which will swing over. This right here will stop the skateboard, and then the way it rotates, we have it so that it pushes the switch up, but as soon as this thing comes down, it'll shut the switch off again. And this board will cut, which is tied up to a pulley system up here, which are hooked up to two switches. One switch is hooked up to the drill press, and the other one's hooked up to that thing. So when that thing falls, it'll pull and activate this, which we actually have a switch on there. We have this kind of system so that the drill will go in reverse. It's hooked up to that nut, and this thing is loose, so it'll raise up the drill. And once this gets high enough, it'll shut off that drill so that it shuts off in time by itself. And then we actually have it wired so that this saw is wired inside of that drill. We did some wiring so that this switch could control the drill shutting off, and it'll shut off this at the same time, which is pretty awesome. Won't be part of the contraption, but it'll help us automatically shut it off. But yeah, this will start running, and then it'll actually pull this nail out, which will cause this board to tip over. This saw is running basically so that the board will actually shoot through. We have it at the right height level. And then, yeah, this will pull out, which will cause the string to release and tip that over. That's a camera, by the way. We have multiple cameras in case we want to get the right angle. So that after this tips over, it'll come over here, hit that target, hopefully in the center. Whoa, almost activated it. And then it'll hit that, which will activate the garage door. It'll pull this down. We actually have it dismantle from that thing so that the garage door is disengaged, so it doesn't pull the garage door. Anyways, that'll go down because the board hit that, and then it'll pull the string over here, which we have a clamp down here so that when we pull the string, it'll pull the switch properly before it comes off. Otherwise, it'll have that weird incline and it might not turn off properly. Anyway, in the end, this is actually wired over here, and this sander will turn on with that switch, which is actually hooked up to a pulley system right there. This thing will fall down. This thing will prevent it from falling down too much, but it'll actually activate the next thing because the handle will wrap around and pull the string, which will release that part right there and make the mousetrap car go. So we're gonna have it go along this track, which is actually guiding it, until it gets to this thing right here. We're gonna have that rod at the end of it hit that part right there, and then we're actually gonna have that light candle lit up, and then the candle will burn that string, it won't burn because this is raising it up, but once this gets knocked over by the mousetrap car, it'll be lower, and then it'll burn it. And then what's going to happen from there is we actually have it wired so that, there's the torch by the way, so that it goes up here in this pulley system. It'll release that weight which will hit that golf ball, which is going to hit the can crushing machine, which we actually have a relay system on there as well. It'll crush cans. And we have a rod mounted on the wall, so it's leaning against the switch. So the golf ball hitting this will make it so the switch flips on. We have it so it barely triggers. And then the Cantraption will, in the end, crush cans. This is the end result, basically. And then, yeah, we will crush cans, and that's basically what this complex machine was meant to do. This very simple thing right there. So yeah, that's basically how this thing works, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll probably have other information like things we had to consider on the report. And again, if you have any questions, just let me know. But yeah, that's basically how this works. So have a good day.